ladies and gentlemen, AEW, where forget the night after WrestleMania. It's all about the Dynamite after WrestleMania. Because they care about you more than those assholes do.
The following podcast has been brought to you by Banter Club.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Banter Club proudly brings to you this one half of the longest reigning tag team champions of all the time. Put me in the sim. Joining me as always.
That's your name? Put me in the sim. Well, the sim he is referring to would involve me, your current reigning, defending, undisputed Ramblemania champion of this, that, those, all the other worlds, all the other realms, everything. TJ the Great. TJ the Great.
You enjoy my gimmick?
Yes. Of course, we are the Banter Club. We are here to discuss that AEW Dynamite on the Hoes Network.
I've got hoes.
We got them hoes. They out there in the area codes. And they went deep this week. They went deep this week and came back with some information for Tony Khan. And Tony Khan took that information and he did something crazy. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But before we do that, we're going to talk about, of course, the little bits of news in and out and about the world of pro wrestling. And, you know, it was WrestleMania weekend this past weekend. WWE was the talk of the town. They put on their big show. Very successful out in Los Angeles, the city of angels. And, you know, there was quite a lot of news coming out of not only WrestleMania, but more aptly the night after WrestleMania, what with the completion of the WWE purchase by Endeavor and their combination with UFC to create this new big entertainment conglomerate. And with that corporate shuffling of structure within the WWE system, a certain someone
God damn it.
made his way back to the top of the food chain. You know what I mean?
He is the reason. He is the reason.
So
He is the fucking this fucking guy.
if you watched Monday Night Raw this past Monday, and a lot of people did, it did a big number in the ratings. A lot of people didn't like it. And
Yeah.
as we came to learn after the show, and even, you know, at points during the show, you know who was back in his favorite seat, doing all his favorite things, making changes.
Can I tell you how I heard this went?
Segments.
So this is what I heard. All speculation, grain of salt, all that good shit. Supposedly he started off the night in his office. And Triple H was in Gorilla. As the day went on, he was watching and he would go to Triple H and say, maybe this. And as the hours progressed, he went from hanging out in his office to kind of like shadowing him until eventually he took a seat in Gorilla. And after that, and supposedly, because of him giving all these ideas, they had to rewrite shit the entire fucking night. There was supposed to be a LA Knight segment, no LA Knight. He was supposed to be at Mania, didn't happen. It was supposed to be a situation going on with like, who was it? The Brock Lesnar thing wasn't supposed to happen the way it did. It was supposed to be like a surprise. So he was supposed to be the surprise partner, and then this shit happens. So there was a lot of little tweaks here. Some people think the Seth Rollins thing was a tweak, but they will reassure you and tell you that no, that promo went exactly how it was supposed to go. And
he's supposed to go out and say nothing?
And then what ended up happening is everything went. That's what they're saying. He went out there and he said exactly what they told him to say and did exactly what they told him to do. So, but even though we clearly saw a guy go up to him and be like, Seth, we're going to change all this shit.
What do you mean?
So apparently it was a gradual situation that happened. And the bastard took over the show. Even though he said in that now well-known interview with, I believe, CNBC, where he said basically like, oh no, I'm going to be in charge, I'm still Vince, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not in the weeds creatively like I was, Shut the fuck up.
I can't believe fucking I even fell for that shit. I was like, yeah, he probably won't be. Probably because I thought he'd probably be too busy to do it. Bruh. I thought he'd be like doing like business deals and shit as the head of the shit, but nope, he did all this shit to get right back in that chair.
This is all I have to say. It's full circle now. He's a giant kayfabe. He really is evil Mr. McMahon. He even grew a dastardly evil mustache. Like, this motherfucker knows he's the villain. He knows.
Oh, man.
Dyed his hair and all of it. He knows he's the villain. He's just...
And the word on the street is that he is, in fact, the man. He will be in charge, be it him being physically there in the chair or, if it's Triple H in the chair, he's still got to answer to him. He's still got to run everything by him.
Yep.
He's back. It's back.
Yep. And there's
WWE
a lot of
as you knew it, it's back.
And with that being said, there's also a lot of speculation that a lot of the guys in the locker room want out, which is... Oh, man. Apparently, the grizzled young vets aren't out yet. They asked for their release, but they weren't granted.
Yeah.
So
but they want out. With all that said, Vince is back, and people may want out, and some people are making out and jumping. According to a report from PW Insider, Adam Hopkins is now working for AEW. He started in WWE in 1997 as a fan services coordinator, and made his way up the ladder throughout his time there, and was eventually vice president of communications. He left in January of this year for undisclosed reasons, but now it appears that he's jumped over to AEW. But obviously, a guy with 25 years of experience in the biggest wrestling company in the world is a great get. A lot of AEW's office hires have been guys like that with tons of experience, either in WWE or just at the general, high production level of the pro wrestling business. So again, another good acquisition for AEW. And if he is in a PR sort of role, I think that'll probably be good for the company.
Yep. Another thing that I was going to say is with the firings and stuff, they say that it's going to be mostly just staff because that makes sense, because when you're having two companies merge and they have basically people who do the exact same shit for either side, you're going to have to fucking, you don't need two.
Whenever a company is purchased or there's an acquisition like this and a big corporate changing in the company, there's usually going to be some sort of downsizing and chopping of heads. Like, there's always going to be a lot of jobs lost in a situation like that because the company sort of restructures financially. So they look at the books and see like, oh, well, we're paying people to do these things on these scales. And we have to adjust that to what makes sense for our new sort of budget and everything like that. So there's definitely going to be changes. I don't know. It's like I said before with Endeavor and how they look at UFC and their fighters. Like it's going to be interesting to see how they look at the WWE contracts of people and decide, is it worth it to pay, say, I don't know, Dolph Ziggler $1 million a year, or could we
to like sit on his ass?
Yeah. I think that's stuff they're genuinely going to look at in the coming,
This is all I have to say. Buddy, Dolph Ziggler. Hey, how's it going? How you been?
And he's just a name I threw out. Like
I know that's a name you threw out,
but
but it's like, I'm just saying. Your brother's over here, man. I mean, we'd love some new tag teams in the division. I mean, the tag team division is bustling right now in the AEW, so just saying.
I mean, we'll see. He has seemed content being there, but that's the thing. Maybe contentment may not work for them anymore. So we'll have to see. Moving over to AEW and certain talent that could be on the move potentially. Andrade El Idolo.
Yeah.
He did an interview with Lucha Libre Online, and he said, he is still with AEW as of right now, and he's been dealing with an injury. He said his contract is coming up, but he just had a tear in his chest, had surgery in November, and he said hopefully soon he'll be back to ring shape and being ready to compete. But last time we saw Andrade was in September. We wrestled at the Casino Ladder match, and then got into that beef with Sammy Guevara, and he went home, and then he got hurt. So even before that, he was on ice a little bit, and now it seems like with everything that's gone on with how Roosh has fucking just taken his spot.
Yeah. He probably told them, "Go ahead, bro. Do your thing.
Yeah. Do your thing. You got that." Mm-hmm. So maybe he's out of there. He was at the Hall of Fame with Charlotte, which that's that generally happens.
Yeah, that doesn't matter at the end of the day because I mean, so was Buddy Matthews, so was Malachi Black, so were a lot of guys who have friends or family over there.
I say that to say more than anything else, like he is on, I guess, decent terms with WWE. So if he does want to go back, likely he can.
Toby, Miro, I miss you, bro.
Yeah, Miro did too is another one that has been on the shelf, and then there's the talk of a lot of speculation. Another person who has had his differences with Tony Khan, Jonathan Gresham, recently. Yes, he spoke to Nick Hausman recently, and talked about, finally gave details on what happened with him and Tony Khan when he requested his release from Ring of Honor and everything. He basically said that he felt that Tony wasn't prioritizing him. He was being blown off basically because he kept trying to set meetings with Tony, and Tony would he would text Tony, and Tony would be like, "All right, let's talk at so and so time at here." And then the time would come, and Tony would be busy, and Gresham wouldn't be able to talk to him. So Gresham felt like he was mad at that. And he said in the interview, he said, he handled it wrong. Like he said he should have handled it differently. But he did feel like he was being blown off. So I can understand that, emotional sort of side of it.
Yeah.
So then he said, eventually by the time he actually did get to meet with Tony Khan, he was already checked out, that he was upset with everything and he was going to ask for his release regardless. So everything had kind of ballooned into this situation where by the time he actually did get to meet with Tony, he had all this pent up frustration. And I guess it sort of spilled out in one moment.
Yeah.
But even after that, he said he spoke to Tony when he was done, and, Tony said a bunch of nice things to him, shook his hand, said, there's no bridges burned. I know you're not a bad person. So I guess Tony sort of buried the hatchet with him over it before he walked and said, everything's all good. It's not beef. So
yeah, I guess it's one of those things that's just a matter of circumstance.
Yeah. And he said, he said he apologized to Claudio because, he didn't want to make it seem as if he had a problem, because he said he had no problem dropping the title to Claudio. He said that wasn't an issue for him. He said it was the other stuff that had him in a funk. So, but he said, he had, no beef with Tony Khan. Tony Khan didn't have any beef with him. And, he's doing his thing for Impact right now. Said he hasn't had contact with AEW or Ring of Honor since then, except he has talked to QT, but nothing concrete beyond that.
I mean, if he wants to come to Ring of Honor, cool.
Yeah, and if Tony will have him back, I think it'd be great. I would love him back in Ring of Honor. I think he was great there.
It makes sense. I mean, he's always felt right in Ring of Honor. Yeah, I've never had a problem with him, ever. And when it comes to his actual wrestling or anything like that, or never had a problem with the dude. So, hey, man, if you want to come back, cool. Yeah. If not, cool. I'll watch you over there. You feel me? Like,
Yeah,
it works
like
either way.
he's currently wrestling in Impact Wrestling, doing his thing. So if you want to go watch him wrestle, you can. He's out there.
Either way, it's all good with me.
Now let's talk about these Dynamite ratings.
Let's go.
They averaged 877,000 viewers this past Wednesday night, up 5% from last week. Did a 3-0 in 18 to 49, up 7%. Their best number since February.
Nice.
Down from last year's, I think, 966,000. So yeah, a trend of down year over year, but this has strong competition. Had 2 games, especially a late game, which I believe was Lakers Clippers, which you're dead in the West Coast going up against Lakers Clippers. Especially because it was, that was actually relatively important game. Like there was playoff position on the line. They had a storyline going into it with fucking the Russell Westbrook playing up against the Lakers. So yeah, they had a lot going on there. But still, right on the outside of the top 5, number 6, behind basically NBA content and Vanderpump Rules.
That shit is still on.
Yeah, I guess.
How long has Vanderpump Rule been on TV, bro?
Listen, people like the reality show women doing stuff. I don't get it. But
they like all that. You fucking bitch, and then
that shit still pulls ratings.
That's that show, bro. They just fight, and a bunch of fuck boys.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, I love that shit. It's all good.
People fuck with that shit. What can you say?
It is what it is.
With that said, I think it's about time to
Oh,
get to the Dynamite.
Shit.
Yes,
Are you ready?
Oh, I believe I am ready.
No, I said, are you ready?
I am ready.
Then, for the thousands in attendance
Just us.
and the millions watching at home,
That would be you.
put me in the sim.
For the love of God. AEW Dynamite from Long Island, New York. We are opening this thing up with action. Absolute Ricky Starks versus Juice Robinson.
Fuck him.
I figured, yeah, that's how we'll get started. Fuck this guy, yes. But hey,
No beef with you, Juice. I fuck with you.
You don't have to watch Juice wrestle because Ricky is immediately attacked
by who's that?
Switchblade Jay White.
I'm convinced Tony Khan likes you better than WWE does WWE fans. I'm absolutely convinced. I'm sorry, I don't know what you heard or who you spoke to, but I'm convinced.
It's a market to tap into. There's that.
Yep.
Yep. After all the speculation of Jay White potentially going to WWE, could he be in the Rumble? Could he be at Mania? Could he be at the Raw after Mania? He's just going to show up on Dynamite again. Let's go. You love to see it. Switchblade is here. He is with his Bullet Club brethren, attacking Absolute Ricky Starks. And just like Juice versus Ricky is a feud that I am very interested in, Jay White versus Ricky Starks is a feud that I am interested in.
Juice Robinson versus Ricky Starks. Yeah. Fucking Switchblade Jay White too? Versus Ricky Starks. What a feud.
We got heat.
What a feud. Yo, they wildin'.
We got heat.
I love that. I respect it. I love it. I'm loving this. I don't know what else to say. This is great.
A strong opening, I thought. Just a statement making opening, so to speak. Like, for anybody tuning in that might have been like, well, Jay White didn't show up. I'm holy
and
shit.
they didn't just have Ricky get his ass whooped. Like, he tried to fight back here.
Yeah, he fought back.
You know? So it felt good for everybody. All parties involved look good.
Yes. We got the graphic and all that. Jay White is all elite. On top of the graphic we got earlier, Nigel McGuinness is all elite.
Yeah.
Just Tony is not playing this week. AEW Tony had the response after Ring of Honor. Tony went crazy on Supercard of Honor. He was like, bet, I got you. And now we open up with the Trios Championships on the line. The House of Black, our champions, defend against the Best Friends. And the Best Friends, them boys came to fight.
What they came in?
They pulled up in that classic all-white van, courtesy of Sue Shulo. She's here.
With Sue.
Sue Shulo is in the building. So here we go. Orange comes in with Buddy. He goes for a trust fall outside, but they catch him and slam him into the apron. And then the House of Black just start murdering these men. Like, Best Friends came for the smoke. And then the House of Black was like, we see your violence and we will raise you another level. Yep. Trent follows them outside. He goes for a dive, but they catch him too. They take him out. We come back from the break. The Best Friends make their comeback. And of course, you've got to give the people what they want.
Gotta give it to him.
Yes. Orange meets Malachi in the center of the ring.
I was trying to get Hazel to do it, but he was, I don't know, he was upset.
Yeah. He didn't want to give the people what they want. He was being a heel.
Like, give me a hug.
Didn't want to give the people what they want. He's a heel.
Next time I gotta ask you.
Yeah. I'm always down to give the people what they want. I am for the people. But Orange, he meets Malachi. He goes for the lazy kicks, but Malachi ain't having none of that shit. Kicks him right in the face. Meanwhile, we see Miss Fat Ass and Bad Attitude, Anna Jay, watching from the back.
I still can't believe she said that shit. Yo, remember watching this and both of us being like, yo, what?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Did she just say what I think she said?
She is wallet.
We turned into Booker T. Tell me. She didn't just say that. Oh, man.
Anna Jay, respectfully. Trent takes
she
out.
Knows. First, I found out Tony Storm knows. And now that I found out Anna Jay knows, I'm like, y'all gotta stop. Because y'all doing this on purpose now.
Yeah, y'all doing it on purpose. You women, you're out of control. Y'all are wild.
OD.
Trent takes out Black and Matthews with pile drivers. Goes for a third one on Brody King, but you know he's a big man. So it's going to take a little bit of assistance to get him up from Chuck Taylor. He gets him lifted and dropped for the 1-2. He got him. No, Malachi breaks it up. Chuck goes for soul food, but it's blocked and countered into a stomp from Buddy. And that lands and finishes them off for the 1, 2, and 3. House of Black retains. They are cooking right now. The House of Black are cooking as ass kickers, head to the trio division. I love it.
Best Friends tried that shit, but it didn't work out.
Yeah. They had me believing, though. They did the Sue entrance, and they came out on gang shit. I loved it.
Yeah, but as we can see, special entrances tonight don't mean shit.
True. Very much
it's
true.
It's a trend of the night.
Yes. We got Christian and Luchasaurus emerging from an evil doorway to another dimension.
It's obvious what they were going for. They both came from hell.
Yes.
Christian died, he got buried, and now he's been resurrected, and he's gotten the Jurassic one resurrected as well. And God knows what kind of soul selling they did in order to get to where they're at now. But now they're coming from the gateway of hell onto our plane, and shit is about to get real. And it seems like Luchasaurus has an entirely new gimmick. Well, not gimmick, but like an entirely new outfit, which from what you've heard online, you know, would make sense because they kind of got in trouble for using the old stuff. So it is what it is.
So so it looks like we're back. Christian and Luchasaurus are back to action. AEW Women's Championship on the line. Riho takes on the champion, Jamie Hayter. First champ versus current champ. And then, you know, Riho and Jamie Hayter, they get in the ring, they shake hands like it's the code of honor, and then they just start going. They just start cooking. So they fight over to the apron. Hayter drops Riho with a Uranagi on the hardest part of the ring into the picture-in-picture.
No, you are.
I'm a Uranagi. No, me. Uranagi, my friend. Uranagi.
By the way, that's not the hardest part of the ring. Taz says what the hardest part of the ring actually is later.
Post. Riho hits a tiger feint kick and a crossbody for a near fall. Then she murders Jamie Hayter with a German suplex and a dragon suplex. German and dragon in succession for a near fall. Then she goes for the brain buster, but Riho reverses into a big DDT. They double down. So then Riho climbs up, hits a top rope Frankensteiner, then a Meteora in the corner. That gets a near fall. So then Hayter, she comes back, she pops her down, hits Haterade, and down goes Riho, and it looks like that's it. Cover 1, 2. She got her no. Riho kicks out. So Hayter's like, you what? She doesn't even NXT fix. She's like, you kicked out of my shit? Nah, you gotta eat one more of these then. So she fires it up one more time. Haterade lays her out. Jamie Hayter gets the win. She don't miss. This match was fucking action-packed. I love this match.
Yeah. I like the dynamic of this match. You know, very Sonic versus Dr. Robotnik. Yeah. You got the fast one, you know, running around, wow, doing all the crazy shit.
Yes.
And then you got the powerhouse just, no! Stop trying! Rey Mysterio Batista, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, it's just like that too. Tiger feint kicks and all that involved.
Yep.
We throw after this to Renee with the Outcasts, Ruby Soho, Saraya, and Toni Storm. And they are mean to Jamie Hayter. They say that they are here to get some much needed control into the women's division. And they are going to get that title off of Jamie Hayter. And don't play games with me, Ruby Soho, talking about control. I'm not falling for this.
You mean quit playing games with my heart?
Yes, don't play these games with me. Because I know the rumors that are going around. I know what you're trying to do. I don't like it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
How do you feel about the name Outcast?
I like it. I don't mind it. It's a good play on outsiders. It's a good play on what they're doing. Like, I like
the entire time I'm over here like, hey y'all, hey y'all,
hey. That makes sense. Oh, now here's this fucking lunatic. Oh, you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard?
What, man? What?
The fact that the Acclaimed are going to join the Jericho Appreciation Society.
It bothers me that that's not Jager's line every time. Jake Hager's line every time he says that. Just, what?
He should have some line other than "I like the hat." He doesn't even. Yeah. He didn't even get to say he likes the hat.
That should be his other line. Yeah. What? Like just an annoyed what?
Yeah. So then the Acclaimed come out. Hometown boy Max Caster. He from the LI, cooking the JAAS real quick with the rhymes. But then the JAAS cut them off and say, "Hey, let's cut that out because it from the sound of that rap." It looks like you guys want to fight alongside us on Rampage.
No, they just called Jake Hager a fucking cocaine bear. Shut up.
Yeah, they said you was hanging out with Cocaine Bear. They said JAAS stands for, what did they say? Something scissoring.
Jericho, I don't know. I just remember that they were saying that they like the ring of Jericho Appreciation Acclaimed Society.
JAAS.
What? Ew.
Some extra A. JAAS.
Yeah, it's like when they did what was the Matt Hardy gimmick?
What?
The AFO.
Oh, the AFO, yeah. The added fucking Andrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. The AFO. Because it was just the HIFO, then it was the AFO.
Yeah. So it used to be the HIFO, and then it became the AFO.
Yeah. So it used to be the JAAS. Now it's the JAAS.
JAAS.
They want a scissor because now they've got the match on Rampage. But Billy's like, hell no.
That's not how that's done.
Must only be done by professionals. So Anthony, let's get over here. Let's show these boys how it's done.
What's good with everybody in this show thinking that they're professionals at what they do?
Right? We're not going to let amateurs do what we do, all right? Get out of the way. Be sure y'all that's done.
Another common theme of the night.
Yes. Professionals getting mad at amateurs. Mm-hmm. These boys still over as hell, though. The Acclaimed. I saw a comparison say they're the new age outlaws of AEW, and yeah, that's a good call. Very, very good call. And now we got a recap of MJF being rewarded with the key to the city of Long Island, being put over big time in his hometown. Then they bring him out. He's got an entire fucking jazz band.
God damn it.
That must
Brass
be why.
band, technically.
Yeah, brass band. But yeah, the crowd is in love with this because, of course, this is AEW Bizarro Land, Long Island.
Yep.
So he comes out. While MJF is talking about Long Island and putting it over, you can hear some guys in the background go, "Yeah, it never rains in Long Island. It's beautiful out here." Bullshit.
Yep.
I've experienced many a rainstorm out there. You can't lie to me. I've been to Long Island.
Yep.
Many times.
Poor TJ has had to go through the... Didn't you go for your birthday one year and it was like cold as shit?
Yeah, it didn't rain, but it was cold. It was nice,
Painfully, supposedly.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't you lie to me. It rains out there.
Yep. He be out there.
Then MJF, he starts singing Pennies from Heaven.
Shooby dooby.
Complete with scatting and everything, channeling Louis Primo, for those that know, says Taz. Or care, says Tony.
It was good though. Shooby dooby.
It was genuinely a good performance.
Yeah.
So, you know. If you care for little Raz renditions, it was a good one.
Fucking these guys were great, bro.
Yeah?
Fucking the crowd
was
just
singing
the
along
whole
with
time.
them. They knew the words. They were with it.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah. It's like if you were gonna do this type of segment on a wrestling show, yes, you have to do it here at a place that's gonna fuck with it wholeheartedly because they're gonna fuck with anything MJF does.
And everything he did was just funny.
Yeah. So, then MJF, he goes to the ring, introduces Joseph Saladino, who's got big heat in the town, says Taz. I know this guy. He's got big heat around here. And they booed the crowd enough, sure enough, boos the shit out of him.
I thought he was like a governor or mayor or something. No, a mayor or something.
I think he was the security.
A former mayor or some shit.
Security of the area or something like that. Yeah. But a major area politician. The crowd is chanting lower taxes at this man while he's trying to extol MJF in his speech. He's like, "This great man, the world champion, we will present him the key to the city." And the crowd's just like, "Lower taxes." They do not fuck with this dude. So MJF comes in.
At least it wasn't our mayor.
Shit.
Because we would have fucking...
Yeah,
you dumb motherfucker. We jokes ain't funny no more.
Yeah, Eric Adams would definitely get a lot of heat. So MJF, he steps forward. He says, this is a big achievement, guys. Not gonna lie, something that would deserve you deserve it. Clap, 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 clap type of thing.
And the crowd eats it.
Eat it immediately. Like, yes, boss, that's what you need. He talks shit on the other pillars. He says, this is a moment only for me. No one like, that Sammy Guevara or Darby Allin or Jungle Boy could ever have a moment like this. In fact, the only thing Jungle Boy will ever have is a girlfriend with a wandering eye and a tiny penis. How does he know that Jungle Boy has a... How does he know?
She told him, remember?
Oh, that's how he knows. Oh, okay.
Remember last week when he spoke and he said, I've been talking to your little shorty?
Oh, okay.
She was trying to holler at me, and she told me you couldn't do it,
Oh, okay. I guess you retain that information. Okay. He goes back to his childhood.
I pay attention.
Okay. But he goes back to his childhood. He says, he was a kid back in the 5th grade with ADD, and the crowd cheers and says, "Yeah,
ADD.
Let's clap it up for ADD."
Hell yeah! Shout out to people who got ADD, man.
Tony on commentary is like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Hey, listen, as somebody who suffers from anxiety, one of the situations I have sometimes is paying attention, and I guess it's a little ADD. So,
and this was indeed a story about that. He says he had a teacher, non-sympathetic to his plight, named Miss Benedict. Says in class, he always used to daydream, and when she caught him daydreaming, she would always call on him and say, "Max, what's the answer to this question?" And he couldn't answer. And eventually, at the end of the year, she would ask him, "What are you always dreaming about in class? Why can't you focus?"
He fell asleep beneath the flowers.
Yeah.
For a couple of hours.
Yes.
On a beautiful day.
So Max, he says the thing he was always daydreaming about in class was professional wrestling.
Yes.
He says he always dreamed about one day being the world champion. And Miss Benedict said, Max, there is a slim to none chance of that happening. And then
oh, fuck Miss Benedict.
And he says, obviously, as you can see, her math was just a little bit off. And he says, and then he calls her stupid bitch. The crowd literally chants stupid bitch.
Yep.
And then he says, to any struggling Long Island kid, and I'm specifically saying this to Long Island kids because I don't speak to pores. He says, just remember, if you work hard, you can be anything you want to be in life, except for one thing. That's me. Because I'm MJF, I'm better than you, and you know it. And, you know, he set the walk off, and then he hits the top of the ramp, and he's like, you know what, guys? Do you want an encore? And the crowd cheers.
Yay!
You guys want an encore?
Yay!
All right, we're going to do an encore. So he gets to go to an
guys,
encore.
he's about to do the gimmick, you know?
Yeah, and then his symbolist. And then he yells at the symbolist, like, what the hell are you doing? We practiced this for weeks. We rehearsed this. He turns back to the crowd. I'm so sorry, guys. It's not your fault. I'm working with amateurs over here. And then he turns around, and the symbolist knocks him out.
Yep.
And he takes off his little mask, and he reveals himself to be Jungle Boy Jack Perry, by God.
And unlike Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Where we knew it was you, Ryder. This one, I was like, is that Trent? Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that Butcher?
When he did it, I was like, oh, that's a pillar. I just didn't know which one.
Yeah.
I figured like, it was one of them.
Who the fuck is this? Yeah, I figured it was going to be either Jungle Boy or Darby, but it looked too thick to be Darby, so I was like, it's either Jungle Boy or Sammy.
Yeah. And it turned out to be Jungle Boy, and, you know, he and MJF brawl off. Of course, given that this is AEW Bizarre Land, the crowd hates Jungle Boy. Security breaks them up, and then the competitor for our next match comes out, Sammy Guevara. He steps in between them, and he's like, oh, look what I found on the ground right here.
Oh, look at this beautiful Triple B.
Yes, let me just hold this up real quick. Boo! Yes. Then he walks down to the ring.
Cuban B.
So up next, we got Sammy Guevara versus Komander.
El Comandante.
Yes,
that's how you actually say Commander in Spanish.
Yes. So Sammy and Komander get the rocking immediately as Sammy hits a sick acai moonsault to the outside.
Acai!
But the crowd is like, you still suck. You still suck. Damn. Tough crowd. But Komander takes him down.
You know why?
Yeah,
you don't insult our guy.
Yeah. Fucking with our guy. We're not having it tonight with you, Sammy.
Yep.
Mr. Guevara. But yeah, he goes for a shooting star, a rope walk shooting star does Komander for a near fall. And then he goes for another one to the outside. But Sammy cuts him off with a super kick into the picture-in-picture. And Excalibur notes that, lately, Sammy has been very consistent in taking top-tier names and opponents, trying to rack up wins en route to getting a title shot. He's trying to prove that he deserves it. And it just makes me think, man, like, if only there was some type of system that could track Sammy's win progress in relation to his title chase.
Something you guys haven't shown on TV in a while, huh?
No, like, if only we had that, that'd be a great little tool of showing Sammy's chase for the title, but...
Yeah, whatever happened to that ranking system?
Too bad we don't have something like that, right?
Sir Wilkins was spitting. Did you see that?
What? Oh, yeah.
When he was talking about that they fucking completely threw it out.
Yeah, but no, yeah, Tony. Like I said before, I understand what Tony said and why he abandoned it, but it's also like you can bring it back now. Bring it back. Bring it back. Mm-hmm. Like he did explain why he got rid of it, but you can bring it back now.
What did he say?
Basically, like because of everything that happened with All Out. And even before All Out with Punk getting injured and like there was too much flux at the top of the card for the rankings to like really be consistent and mean anything at that time. So he had to abandon them because like they wouldn't make sense on TV. Yeah. And I get that.
Well, you can do what you always did in like real sports Where like if somebody gets sidelined or injured, then you have to, regardless of the ranking, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, because it happens in real sports. So
yeah,
let it rock.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, and if it were me, that's what I would have did. I would have let it rock. But he did what he did, and I'm not mad at it. But again, I like the rankings, so bring them back.
Same here. I enjoy the rankings. I always felt like it gave a little more meaning to the situation, and of course, like you said, I miss it.
It was good booking tool. Very good, good booking tool. Underrated booking tool, I thought.
Yep.
But yeah, Jungle Boy's watching the match backstage like a normal human being, so shout out to him. He got security behind him. Komander hits Sammy with a Phoenix Splash for a near fall, and then goes for the Shooting Star one more time, but Sammy gets his knees up. He blocks the GTH, but Sammy gets him in the corner. He goes up top, but Komander goes to the opposite corner. So he goes for a rope walk one more time, but Sammy catches him with the cutter mid-ring. Like he flips over and hits him with the cutter, and then lands the GTH for the 1, 2, and 3. A sick fucking finish. And a pretty good match.
Ain't it sad that a blocked GTH is still a better GTS than anything Logan Paul can pull out?
It is crazy. Very good wrestler. Executed most of his moves very well, but not the GTS. Yep. That's the one. It's the one that got him.
It's the one that got you, boy.
How about that?
I mean, you have more chances. There's more time. Life exists, You make mistakes. It's part of wrestling. But it's part of life. But, it's kind of funny that everybody was trolling CM Punk for trying to do a goddamn gimmick. The Hangman,
the buckshot
lariat. And everybody was like, oh, Logan Paul did a better one, blah, blah. Isn't that sad? I'm like, no, it's wrestling. Shit happens. He's injured, number one, and that's how he injured his foot, number two. So it's like, of course it's not going to be the best all the time, It happens. And then Logan Paul does one. Everyone's like, oh, look at that. It's like, yeah, but now look at him try to do a GTS and
it's some rock, paper, scissors ass shit, really. Like, CM Punk does good GTS, does bad buckshot lariat. Logan Paul does good buckshot lariat, does bad GTS. Hangman Page does good buckshot lariat, I think he only did GTS one time, and it wasn't bad. It was decent.
I don't remember, so I can't tell you.
Yeah. For the one GTS I saw him do against Punk, it was decent. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Hangman's the missing link there. He's the one that can do both moves good.
I guess.
Yeah.
But regardless, my point is, doesn't matter. Sometimes you make mistakes.
Yeah, people make mistakes. People make mistakes.
Yeah. Same way y'all still trolling Top Dollar. Poor guy, man.
Michael Cole won't leave that man alone, apparently. Sammy grabs the mic post-match from Tony Schiavone. Says, I just did something that our champion doesn't do. Wrestle. Because I don't know what the hell that was before. I don't know if I was watching American Idol or what. Says, MJF, you talk about how you beat the rest of us pillars, but let's go back to our match in Dynamite of 2021. You didn't beat me. Sean Spears in a steel chair beat me, bitch.
Yep. Another person that you manipulated.
Yes, another person that you used. He says, MJF, you did something that I will never do in this company, and that's sell my soul to be a pillar. He says, I love AEW, and you may not like that, you people, but I would never use it to go anywhere else. So screw Jungle Boy, screw Darby Allin, screw MJF, and the bidding war of 2024.
He's spitting.
Yeah, he's been. And that seems to be the unifying thing among the pillars. Like, fuck MJF. He's just using this shit to try to go to the other place. But we all fucking genuinely love it here. We're pillars for a reason.
And remember what he said in his last promo where he was like, yo, I'm self-built, self-made. You were out here fucking using and manipulating people. So,
yeah.
To get where you got, and not me. Me, I built this shit on my own. If you were a pillar, it wasn't done by you. You that kid in the when you get a class project who doesn't do shit, does not contribute, does not talk, does not even look at anybody. You feel me? And then you got me doing the posters and Rossenberg fucking coming up with all the facts and TJ over here I'm bringing it back. Am I bringing it back?
That's how I'll be looking. That's how I'll be looking.
and Starlin. Damn.
Yeah,
we used to have a squad when we used to have projects. It was always good.
It was good. You get done.
Shout out to rest in peace to Miss Rossetti, by the way.
Facts.
Shout out to her though, because she held it down.
Yes. But yeah, again, that's the unifying purpose of the Pillars. So, the rest of them truly love AEW, and they're not using it to catapult themselves elsewhere.
Yep.
So again, yeah, Darby was looking on from the rafters during this match, getting his thing on. So yeah, the Pillars are all looming around that world title.
Now, loom.
Yes, they loom. They looming.
I miss Dexter Loomis.
That is the homie. Shout out to Index.
She won the belt.
Yeah, they're doing well over on NXT. We got the FTW Championship, brother. We got, again, Hook versus Ethan Page. And of course, if you've been following the storyline with the firm and Matt Hardy and everything, Ethan Page, he signed Matt Hardy's contract on Rampage, but we don't know the details of it yet. And then, of course, Stoke has been indisposed. He got taken out by Hook. So he ain't here this week. So early on, this man, Ethan, he goes for the twist of fate, but Hook reverses it.
For you.
He's like, for you, buddy, he's going to hit the twist of fate, but then Hook reverses and Hook hits the twist of fate. Gets a good pop. So then Isaiah Cassidy, he jumps up, distracts the ref, while Ego goes for the belt, but then Matt grabs it and they're tugging at it, and then he grabs it and he clocks Ethan with the belt, and then Hook locks in Red Rum. He gets the win, and Matt has screwed Ethan, and he and Zay walk off with Hook, and Hook gives them both dap. Hook daps them up. So my continued thought on the contract that Ethan signed is that it's something to get Matt and Private Party out of their deals with Ethan and Stoke.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Matt Hardy played him emotionally and mentally. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of a heel move.
It is.
For his freedom, though. Which is why it's like,
And when you think about what he's trying to get, it's for his freedom, so it makes sense.
So it makes sense. It's like, all right, that's some babyface shit. But at the same time, that's some heely shit, bro. You manipulated this man.
Right? Ethan really thought you was his man's.
Mm-hmm. That's...
It's a foul game that you had to play.
That's a little... Hey, I'm just saying.
But hey, he did it. So we don't know yet, but it would appear to me that Matt and Private Party are about to be free from the firm.
Yep.
And now we go to Tony Khan and Nigel McGuinness. Nigel says, "I can't believe the announcement that we're about to make. So, sir, if you will." And Tony says, 5 years ago, we have 4 pioneers, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, and Kenny Omega. They came together to put on the biggest independent wrestling show of all time, All In. And now, 5 years later, AEW is set to bring All In back with their UK debut, AEW All In, this coming August. And then he throws to Adam Cole to announce the venue. And Adam Cole says in August, AEW All In will take place at Wembley Stadium.
How the fuck are they going to fill that shit?
Not Wembley Arena. Wembley Stadium.
How the fuck are they going to fill that shit is my only question.
One of the biggest, most famous venues in world history. A 90,000
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
capacity.
90,000? How the fuck are they going to fill that?
This is incredibly ballsy on Tony's part. And this is exactly what the spirit of All In was, on almost 10 times the scale.
Yep.
And it's interesting. What I found interesting, a lot of things, but what I found interesting is Cole says this is going to be a celebration of 100 years of Wembley, of 100 years of Warner Brothers. So, and Excalibur said that too. So I can see Warner Brothers having a big hand in the push for this.
Yeah.
And obviously that's big because, of course,
90,000.
There's a lot of talk about what obviously that number is going to be thrown around a lot, 90,000, and what they can do in relativity to that. Can they get the 90,000? A lot of people seem to, they get 40,000. That's a success.
Yep.
They get, 50,000 plus, that's really good.
Yep.
60,000. I think they can get 60,000.
I said 70.
Just based off the fact that it's London, Wembley, which is like, if you don't have the perspective from like an American, as an American, Europe is smaller and more centralized than the US. So travel isn't quite as won't be quite as complicated for people coming from different places in Europe as you would think.
There's gonna
especially getting to London.
What I was gonna say is you're gonna have a lot of guys that are from 8 parts of even Asia that are gonna come over here because they're finally on their side of the world.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be people from Pakistan. There's gonna be people from Ireland. There's gonna be people from just think about basically all of Europe, all of Asia being like, yo, there's something finally that we can reach, that it's on this side of the world. Like, we got to go out there.
Yeah.
So it's not just the people of England. It's all the neighboring countries that are around them that would love to go to an AEW show and just haven't, because coming to this side of the world is a huge endeavor and it's expensive. So being that it's more on their turf and closer to what they could ever even think of AEW coming, I feel like they can do maybe 72.
I think they can, yeah. And I think that's the point where you start to get into that territory of really special number, because, I mean, like, WrestleMania just did, they said, 80,000 for both nights?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can touch that type of number for a major show as a non-WWE entity, that's gigantic. That is absolutely massive. Like,
yeah. Good. Think about it this way: even if they swing and they miss, they're going to be successful.
Yeah, like if they come out of this and they do 50,000 at the gate, like, that's not a failure by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. That's a fantastic number. That's the biggest gate they've ever done. Yada yada yada. And
they're probably gonna have like a huge stage, so it's probably gonna block a bunch of seats anyways.
Yeah, like, make no mistake, this is gonna look like a gigantic event, like a WrestleMania level. Yeah.
Think about Saudi.
Yeah.
Like how that looks in that huge fucking stadium. That's what it's gonna look like.
It's crazy, like, because I thought this was gonna be like, I thought all along, all right, this announcement is the UK show. I thought the moment they said Tony has an announcement and Tony was like, this is a big announcement, I was like, it's the UK show. I thought it was going to be Craven Cottage, where Fulham plays, his football team.
Okay.
Because that makes sense, his football connection to his football team. He's got the arena.
Yeah, his pops. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, that makes sense. He went way bigger than you could have possibly imagined. Like, with WB potentially involved, I see celebrity involvement. I see cross promotion on the networks. Like, this is a big deal.
This is all I have to say. Fucking All In, the original one, it was built on you can't.
Exactly.
So All In 2 has to also now be built on you can't. And they, you know what I'm saying? Like, so far, they have. So just throwing that back in there is just another you can't. And this is a big swing. And again, like I said, because it's built on that same you can't, even if they don't make it, they win. So
that's the genius of it, of naming it All In, because again, they go right back to that premise of you can't. And every time they've had a you can't, they have.
They do. Yeah.
All In, it wasn't even close. Like, I remember the lead up to All In, and everybody was talking about it. And I was one of the people that said, I think they do like 5 to 8, and that would be obviously successful. They did 10 in 30 minutes. They sold it out in 30 minutes. It was not even a question of whether they would. They did easily. When it came to AEW.
What was the total number? Like 16, 17?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was 14.
Jeez.
But they sold out the building. Then it comes to AEW and doing, what's the name? Grand Slam.
Yeah.
You can't do 20,000. They did 20,000.
They did.
Without a card announced. With no card.
Yep. New York was
United
hungry.
Center. You can't fill the United Center. They filled it on a rumor.
Yep.
Every time they've been told you can't, they have.
What people need to realize is that wrestling fans are hungry. And they want that next big thing that brings the culture, more to the forefront. And like everything that AEW has done caters to that. So listen, man, every time you tell AEW they can't, I just think about those ravenous, hungry fans who want, some different type of wrestling that they enjoy more. They're more into. The matches are, they have great stories. So it's, to me, it's like, AEW is just catering for those fans who want more, and I respect it.
Like, I've said it before, like, I'm not going to tell you that they're going to for sure put 90,000 people in Wembley Stadium. But I am going to say I have learned to not doubt these people.
Nope.
I'm not doubting what they can do.
I doubt them as much as I doubt Roman Reigns.
Shit. And we learned again this past Sunday does not do that.
Yeah.
So
I should have just, you know what I'm saying? It bugs me because I should have went with my rule. You never go against Roman.
Yeah.
That's why put me in the sit.
Now we got BCC versus 3 dudes. This is a BCC murder fest.
I was going to say, rules. The fuck was this?
Murder. BCC just murdered 3 dudes. Then Danielson grabbed the mic.
Yeah.
He was like, I was at home sitting with my family, and I love my family. You know what else I love? I love John Moxley ripping people's teeth out. I love Claudio Castagnoli destroying people. I love Wheeler Yuta, even though he's a shithead.
Wheeler, what the hell? Why does everybody always say that about Wheeler?
He is a little shithead.
He's a nice dude from what I've seen.
That's why Shibata whipped his ass on Friday.
God damn. Damn, don't remind me about fucking Friday, bro.
Shibata beat that boy's ass.
I'm so sad about Friday, bro.
Yeah, Friday was sad other than that, but I mean, that match in particular. Mm-hmm. He says, you know what I also love? Professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He says, do these guys look like professional wrestlers to you? Nah, they look like amateurs to me. These guys we just beat are impotent amateurs. They look like guys the EVPs would hire.
Impotent, damn.
He says, we are the only 4 wrestlers in the building tonight. And then they're immediately interrupted by Hangman Adam Page. Mm-hmm. He runs down to the ring, but he can't deal with these numbers. 4-on-1, he gets beat down. And Danielson is just calling him an amateur, screaming it at him over and over again. Amateur. Amateur. He says no one is coming out for Hangman Adam Page because nobody loves him, because this locker room doesn't understand what love is. But we do.
I want to know what love is.
He pulls out a screwdriver. He says, I've been teaching my kids at home how to fix things around the house. So I'm going to fix things in the house of AEW. And he takes the screwdriver to Hangman's forehead and stab. Brutality.
He's lost his fucking mind again.
Yep.
You know which Bryan Danielson this is? This is Eco Warrior Bryan. No, he was something else. But Bryan Danielson. This is he was called
eco-terrorist Bryan Danielson.
He was called what was it? Daniel Bryan at the time.
Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan. Yeah, I forgot about that guy.
He had the redwood with him.
Yes.
But yeah, this is him. He's back. He's a fucking psychopath again.
And now he's mad at the lack of professionals in this sport. He says, we are the only 4 professional wrestlers in this building. Hell, after what I've seen this week, we are the only 4 wrestlers in damn America. He's pissed off, and then the BCC walks out.
He just shitted on every fucking wrestler in WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact, everyone, GCW, everyone who did anything this weekend. He fucking said,
this man said, I watched WrestleMania weekend and y'all niggas suck.
Facts.
All y'all
don't
suck.
hold the candle to Moxley. Y'all don't hold the candle to Claudio. Y'all don't hold the candle to Wheeler Yuta. And definitely not me, Brian fucking Danielson.
Hey, that's why he called Yuta shit. Even though you guys asked about Shibata, y'all still can't fuck
this
with
Herb.
him. This little bitch ass. Even though he got fucked up, y'all still can't fuck with him.
That's the little nigga from the squad who got his ass whooped.
He's still learning, but y'all can't fuck with him.
He's still harder than y'all niggas. Through the knowledge.
Through the knowledge, nigga. Oh my God, is the BCC Onyx? BCC said, back the fuck up. It looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. For the AEW tag titles. Titles versus careers. The Guns defend against FTR. If FTR loses, they are gone.
Yo, Tevin, can I finally say it and it's actually canon?
Yes.
Yo, so you know who did the entrance for the Guns?
Who did the entrance for the Guns?
50 Cent.
And for once, he's not lying. The Guns, the lights go down, a piano goes across the arena. I'm like, wait a minute.
I see something. Pull up.
No.
Bling, 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 bling. Betty, man. Wish death upon me. Blood in my dog and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. But niggas trying to take my life away.
They were singing it in that arena.
Yes,
you
they
could
were.
hear it. I'll put a hole in a nigga for fucking
when
with me.
When they bleeped it, you can hear them continuing the song.
You can hear it. I'll put a hole in that nigga for fucking with me. My back on the wall, now you gon' see. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me. Cause I come and take your life away. Austin Gunn, he knew all the words. Austin Gunn knew the whole song.
Did I tell you after I posted it, both the Guns viewed it? The 50 Cent is All Elite.
Them boys.
They viewed it, both of them.
Oh my God. I wanted them to win. I was like, yo, FTR,
me too. I was like, they're the hardest tag team in wrestling right now. It's over.
FTR, I love y'all, but y'all gotta go now.
Did you see the camera angle with the spin on it?
The camera spin where Austin spin the leg was
and they
so
were
hard.
Singing. Oh my God.
It was so hard.
Bro, it was the entrance I wanted to make in my fucking wrestling debut. These motherfuckers killed it, bro. They killed it. They sang it, they came out to it, they bopped to it. They walked as hard as gangsters I ever seen them walk, bro.
Austin pointing at the camera with the belt hang up like, better watch how you talk when you talk about me. Cause I come and take your life away. I was like, yes.
Everything. I lost my mind. I was hitting up the group chat. These motherfuckers did what? And I'm at work, mind you, so I'm working out in my own job. These niggas on camera was probably watching me like, what the fuck just happened? This nigga lost his fucking mind.
Everybody who's seen the vision with the ass boys, we are here. We have arrived.
I see you now.
We have arrived.
Remember how I went from saying, I don't know, I'm not really feeling these dudes. That's all they had to do, and I'm like, well.
That's it. I see
they did it. They get it. I was talking shit. I felt like they ain't get it. They got it.
They got it.
Damn.
Man, listen. Licensed music is the
made
move.
a believer out of me, son.
They said Jim Johnston said he want to work for AEW, and I mean, all respect to Jim Johnston, obviously the legend that came up with all these iconic themes. But listen, the move is licensed music. That's the move.
Yep.
Cause God, when you get a motherfucker a classic, well-known song like this, you can't beat it. You can't match the vibe it provides.
It's like being at a fucking baseball game. It's like being at a basketball game. It's like being at a football game. It makes AEW feel like a real sport. It makes fucking WWE look like fucking shit. It's
like,
night and even
day. Like when WWE does it, like it's great when they do it. Like,
yeah, look at fucking CM Punk.
Yeah,
that's the classic one. That the moment I remember when he came out to that song, I was like, that's fucking great. That's a 90s song that I'll never forget, that I've always loved, that I liked as a kid. He chose a great fucking song. And the Guns chose a great fucking song. But with all that being said, yo, can Eddie Kingston please have flesh on my flesh, blood on my blood? Please.
Oh my God.
Please. I know people want him to have a Rough Riders anthem. That's all right. But flesh on my flesh, blood on my blood, on him. Tell me that shit just don't fucking.
It would hit
feel
too
it,
crazy.
right?
It would hit too crazy. And I think Tony said before that they tried to get X, but X is expensive. I don't know, Tony.
Yeah, because even he owed a whole bunch of those guys money for his own music.
Yeah. I don't know, Tony. For me, a nigga like me, I might just give up the money. If it's a moment like Eddie winning the world title,
Yep.
I do it. I do it. I'll do it.
I have other ideas of what I would do too, just to fuck with people, but that's a whole other situation I'm not going to talk about because that shit that I could use to make money.
Yeah.
Tony Khan never asked me questions. I'll be like, yo, you know what I would do? And then Tony would be like, oh, are you evil? And I would be like, yeah.
Licensed music, man. It's the move.
Yep. Damn, yo, I'm watching it right now. The vibe. Look at everybody. These guys are heels and they know they are. Look at this shit. Oh, that was great. That was, beautiful. What a heel move. It was great.
Tremendous stuff.
In New York. Oh,
these in New York City. Queens adjacent shit.
50 live right down the fucking block. Wow. That's crazy.
So here we go. FTR, they start hot on the Guns, and the Guns powder, and Austin trips Cash up for the heat into the pip. So we come out. Austin tries to get Dax in the figure four, but Dax cuts him off. They get a rope hung DDT on Colton. They hit Austin with a stacked pile driver for a near fall. Then they go for the Shatter Machine, but that gets blocked. Guns go 310 to Yuma, but that gets blocked. FTR, they get the Shatter Machine for the 1-2. He got him, no. Colton pulls out the ref, and then he demands to be DQ'd. I touched you, ref. You got to DQ me. But Paul Turner is like, nah, this is a title match. I ain't doing FTR like that. I ain't doing him like that.
Yep.
So Austin, he sets up for the pedigree to bury this man. But Dax reverses into a backslide for a near fall and starts going for a bunch of pinning combinations. And then Austin straight up low blows him. Yep. Right in clear view of Paul Turner, who again, they're like, DQ. And Paul Turner's like, this
I'm not
time,
letting it happen.
He's looking like he might do it. But then Cash runs in like, nah, don't do it.
Yeah, nah, Cash literally was like, he caught a plea. Yeah. He was like, fuck no, bro, you can't.
Please. And Paul Turner was like, nah, you're right. I'm not going to do it.
Y'all my boys.
I can't do y'all like that. I got to give y'all a chance.
These biased-ass AEW refs.
But the commentary was like, nah, he's not going to let them go out like that. He's going to give them a fair opportunity, referee's discretion. And it's true.
It's like the referee was right now being a hood referee.
Yeah.
You feel me? Nah, not going to happen like that. Nope. Nah, you can't just get out of this fight like this. You won't get your ass whooped.
If you're gonna get rid of these men, you gotta beat them.
You gotta beat them.
That's the way he went with it. And
you want the fair? We shooting the fair. Fuck
we shooting the fair one. Ain't no bullshit. You ain't getting out of this. You gotta beat these men.
Damn right.
So that's how you like to see it. So he gets hit with 310 to Yuma. You love to see it. You love to see it. Dax fights Austin off top. Colton slides the belt in, but Turner throws it out. Paul Turner caught the belt under his foot and was like, boys. You said it perfect. He was the hood ref. Anytime they tried to do some bullshit, Paul Turner was like, nah. I gotta fight these boys.
It's a fair one.
Yeah. But then while his back is turned, they get the other belt in the ring, and Austin gets the belt shot. He lays Dax out for the 1-2. He got him. No. Dax kicks out.
What a fucking near fall, bro.
Crowd goes crazy. Dax gets up, spits in these men's faces like, you gotta kill me. And then he and Cash come back in with double sunset flips for the 1, 2, and 3. They get the dub off the double sunset flips.
See, you came out to the song, right? And you was talking about you was going to take their life away. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me. And lost. I'm over here like, damn, FTR going to fucking Ring of Honor. Damn. But nah.
Nah, they staying around.
And speaking of Ring of Honor.
Yes. They did do a taping after this, but
you know who came out to celebrate with them, right?
Yes, Mark Briscoe. Yeah. He hits the ring, celebrates with his boys. Big celebration for FTR. 2-time
streamers
AEW Tag Team Champions, 10-time top guys, as they like saying. Really good match. I like that this is a great little showcase of all the little fuck things that the Guns kept doing to win the titles and to keep the titles, like the belt shots, the low blows, everything. Everything that they did in this match was everything that they had done over the past few months on their way to the top. And all of it finally backfired on them.
What's that called, TJ?
They're getting their comeuppance.
Not just that.
What?
Story fucking telling.
Absolutely storytelling. Because if you've been watching the Guns win like this and for them to finally fail, then yeah, it pays off. Pure story payoff.
Fucking telling. And that's what a lot of fans miss out when it comes to storytelling. They're so used to this WWE nonsense of how they book that they forget that real storytelling is done in that fucking ring.
Yes.
Remember.
Like that's how the Guns built their heat. They kept fucking cheating and beating teams that people thought should be better than them till they finally fought a team that was so good they couldn't cheat against them.
Yep. MJF is one of those guys who's also perfect at that. He's a great storyteller in the ring. And I feel like that art is slowly being lost because people just want to see, cool moves. And wake up, people. This is where the money is at because it makes you feel. That shit made me feel. I was like, ain't no way FTR winning this match now. With the storytelling. And, bruh, they pulled that shit out of their ass.
And I'm a moves kind of guy. I love me some moves. But yeah, at the end of the day, where you're going to make your money in wrestling, what's going to make you special, what's going to make the people really rock with you is your ability to tell a story, your ability to make people connect with you beyond that. And I mean, I think a lot of people misconstrue and think that means that you shouldn't do great moves. That's not what that means at all.
No.
But what it means is that, yeah, it's cool to do good moves, but you should also have that in the back of your mind. Like, what can I do to parlay this into making people vibe with the story and making people vibe with the characters and all that?
Yep. To me, the great, best, biggest move is a move well executed within the storytelling of the match.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the most special, flashy looking, cool move. It can be that one thing that just turns the tide. And that move, I'll remember. You feel me? Like, That's what you gotta look for in these. That's to me what makes a good match. Is the fact that you're out there and you know when to execute these moves and how it's gonna make the fans and the people watching react. It's these little small details that make a good match. And I feel like this was a really, really good, well executed, all the fucking, check boxes ticked. This was a good match.
Yeah. I like this a lot. And I mean, with FTR as the champions again, that's how we leave out the show. And I thought this was a very, very strong show. Had a lot of focused story development, solid wrestling up and down the card, and a big, big, big TK announcement. Like, the last announcement, that might not have been that big. But this one, this was a big one.
Yep. Listen, it's over. The Raw after Mania sucks.
Oh, damn.
It sucked for the last few years. But since AEW has been putting on shows, Dynamite after Mania is where it's fucking at.
Damn. That's crazy. Gotta go to a different company.
You wanted Switchblade Jay White? You wanted that? WWE ain't give it to you. They gave it to you here. You wanted a blood feud match? You wanted something that's going to start off a whole new story? WWE ain't give that shit to you this week. AEW did. You want just a show that just feels incredible, fun, everything out the gate just always felt fresh and new, and it now felt like a new year in wrestling? Raw ain't give you that shit. AEW Dynamite did.
And for all of us that, already been over here and been rocking out and ain't been worrying about what's going on over there, look at how we eating right now. We got Wembley coming up.
Eating swell on this side. Eating swell on this side.
We are
and
feasting.
We have all of these conjunction with all of these companies. You got Impact. You have Ring of Honor. You have New Japan. You have all the independent companies that AEW works with. All the cool independent stars that they work with. Fucking Cheeseburger.
Right. and I definitely think that Tony is definitely going to be calling on a lot of those relationships and calling on a lot of those favors for this all-in event. For sure, because like we talk about, like we're talking about filling this stadium and making this show pop. I gotta imagine a fucking super card of epic proportions. Okada gonna be there.
Yep.
Okada's there.
That's another thing that's genius about Wembley. The fact that they have Japan right there. They are right down the fucking river. Oh my God. They're right over there.
There's no way they don't do Ospreay Omega 2 on this show. Gotta be on this show.
He's gonna be on there. Shit.
Ospreay's definitely gonna be there. Like,
Okada's probably gonna be on there somehow.
Sabre gotta be there. Like, yo.
Yeah.
They're saying, like, I saw you could do Jamie Hayter versus Saraya. That's a huge match to do there. But there's so much big opportunity for this show. It's gonna be gigantic.
And what did WWE give you? AEW's over here with no Monica. There's a storm, DJ Clue.
But yeah. All
Whatever
in
the
Wembley.
name is, the album volume 3.
And then even aside from that, they're still like, it's not even replacing anything. Like, they're still doing All Out. And if I'm not mistaken, they're what, a week or two apart? Because I think All In is the end of August, and of course All Out is like early September. So
yeah, so that'll just be a nice little setup, a nice little, kind of like build.
Yeah, so AEW is about to have
one builds to the other.
A crazy summer. It's looking like a crazy summer coming up for the AEW.
And then in
homies.
September,
that Grand Slam, that's gonna be a crazy run for AEW. And of course we're gonna be there year 3, we're gonna be there. You know how that's rocking.
Damn right. We was there last year. Jesus Christ. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Dynamite. Yes.
Hell yeah.
TJ, let these beautiful people know where to find us.
But of course, you already know where to find us. Find us on Instagram at Ramblemania Show and at Banter Club Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Ramblemania. Facebook.com/Ramblemania Show. Also find our group there, Ramblemania Show's Banter Club, will be any other wrestlers and podcasters and everybody that we associate with. Post all our goings on and all that's going down. far as audio goes, we're everywhere audio is found. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, TuneIn, Overcast. Everywhere your podcasts are found, search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. And of course, the visuals, twitch.tv/Ramblemania Show. Also find Spotify video. Also find us on YouTube, Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. When you get here, like the videos, click subscribe, or click the bell so that when the new content drops, it goes straight to you. And as for me personally, find me on Instagram at TJ the Great One. That's TJ the GR, the number 8, the number 1. And find me on Twitter at TJ the Great. That's TJ the GR, the number 8. It's as simple as that.
TJ the Great too.
Game.
You can find me on Instagram at the number 6, the letter X, the letter L. That is at 6XL. You can find me on Twitter at SIIXX. Ain't I great? That is at SIIXX. You're all ready. Also, you can find us on TikTok at Ramblemania Show, where we post funny clips of all these shows that we do for all of you. With all of this being said, I would like to leave our BC aliens and our Ramblemaniacs with a little something we like to call a too sweet.
Sweet.
Let them know, and a good fight.
Good fight and a good night.
Black, 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 black. Put me in the sim.
Oh my God.